Every time you're near,
We're not in love anymore.
every time you're near,
Forget things will never be the same.
hey baby.
Forget how you made it so clear.
Every time you're near,
Forget it.
What's good? Who with me? Special show today. I was gonna be off. I was gonna take off. I was taking up out of here. I was not coming today. My daughters are like, Dad, are you gonna do your 1 o'clock? I said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. If you can hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know you can hear me. Let's put the chat up. Let me see if I can do something a little bit different today. Let's see if we can roll with the chat like this. Let's see if we can do it like this today. You with me? How's that? Hey, bro, let's talk about your nephew and baseball. I sent you a DM. You know what? Let me go in my DMs and check it out. I was traveling most of the day yesterday. When I left the show, I got on the road. I came back to Cincinnati, and I haven't checked any of my DMs. The only DM that I seen was my sister, Alethea Williams, sent me one about, excuse me, us doing the back to school drive. I did see her. You know, when I see them, I usually grab whatever DMs they send me. I try to look at certain, they're saved in the favorites. No offense to anybody, but certain people are personal. So I will look at their DMs because sometimes we talk about other stuff outside of Wyatt Live. So I checked hers and it was about the back to school situation. So I promise you, bro, we'll get on that. I do have a clip I want to show you guys today. And I know Drop chimed in with us yesterday about he was trying to make it seem like, and I know he don't really know. Drop been privileged his whole damn life, pretty much. He's been a working class man. He's not from where we from. He's not from. I mean, he's cool. I love the brother, but I don't think he pretty. I don't think he from the. I don't think he from some of the shit that we. I don't think he from that. That's all I can say, and I'm saying that respectfully and nice because all kids don't have the same opportunities. I mean, the opportunities are there, but what a lot of people don't understand is with opportunities, you have to have a support system to capitalize on those opportunities. And that's not Drop's fault or nothing like that, but I'm going to show him and show everybody here today what I was talking about. I'm bringing receipts, I'm bringing proof that it's just different for certain kids that have same opportunities, but they need a support system to be able to do the same things that other kids are able to do. Just because the opportunity is there, don't mean that you can take advantage of it. It don't mean that you shouldn't, and it don't mean that you can't, but it is absolutely a fact that all kids don't take advantage of opportunities. I told you something yesterday, and I seen a couple people hit me up. A couple of my guys text me yesterday and was like, "Yo, Wyatt, yo," like, no, they ain't say it like that, but that's how I see it. They was like, "Bro, let me drop this down a little bit. Let me see if I can drop this down. Excuse me. There we go. Looks better for me. What's up, Big Don? West, y'all." That's what they say on the West Coast. West. Wait a minute. Can I still do that shit? Don, I did this one time. I won't do it again. I can't do that shit. I could do it here in Cincinnati. I can't do that shit on the West Coast, y'all, because that means something. You can't do all this type of stuff out there. You fuck around and be done. You don't know what you run into. You think you in the clear. You think you in the clear. I want to say something to Don real fast, if y'all don't mind. Everybody be quiet for a second. Everybody step to the side. Don, I hope you ain't watching this with your wife because this was very innocent. This was very innocent. The last time I was in California and Don and I spent some time together, I was a little bit blown away of the, he said, "Good morning, brother." I know it's morning in Cali right now. I was a little blown away at the attractions. Fellas, this is just ladies, go away. This is a fella conversation right now. I was blown away with the attractions. You understand what I'm saying to you? Ladies, I'm not talking to y'all when I tell you, ladies, cancel out for a second. When I do like this, y'all come back, please. But fellas, please pay attention. I was blown away of the attractions in California. And my man, 1,000 grand, Big Don. Let me tell you how smooth Big Don is. I'm in the passenger seat, not on no scrub shit, because we holding on. We doing what we do. But I'm in the passenger side on his best friend's ride. You know what I mean? And I'm riding and I'm looking at Don like, damn, look at all the attractions, fellas. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And guess what? Don said, "What you mean, man?" And I'm like, "Bro, look at that." And fellas, I'm talking about Kardashian type all over the place, sisters like all over the place. And Big Don had to humble me. You know what he said to me? Now I'm gonna get on with the show, but I wanted to tell Don because he'll never remember. He'll never remember this. He might, because he might remember little small shit in the life like I do. I remember small things that they're special moments for me. So Don looks at me and he's like, bro, what? And I'm like, bruh, these are superstars. And he said, bruh, do you see what they doing? I said, yeah. He said, no, you don't see what they doing. He said, they getting off the bus. He do remember. He said on the bus stop. Damn, Don, we are brothers, bro. We remember the same shit. The inside joke to that is this. The inside joke to that is this. It was dime pieces all over the place. Dimes, bro. Y'all hear me, brothers? It was dimes falling from the sky. And Don calmed me down. He brought me down. He was like, bro, them girls all over the place out here, man. They a dime a dozen. He was like, them girls that look, them right there, they riding the bus out here. I said, them girls would not be on the metro where I'm from. Them superstars. And it just reminded me of what Chad Johnson said. And I know I'm about to bring the ladies back in a minute, fellas, but I got to say this on the air. Chad was tripping. And I'm telling Chad was tripping when he said what he said. Now, the ladies would be mad at me if they were listening. Chad was freaking tripping when he said that. And I told Big Don, I said, them stars where I go. He was like, bro, them girls are diamond. Every lady out here look like that, and they riding the bus. I said, she wouldn't be riding the bus where I'm from. Shit. He was like, it's like that out here. Let me move on. Big Don, I'm glad you remembered that, man. My Compton ghetto pass. That's what I call Big Don. He got, that's my Compton ghetto pass whenever I go to LA. All right, ladies, shit, come on. I know y'all was eavesdropping anyway. But whenever I go to LA, Don is my guy, his blessed family. That's my friend. And I'll love him for life, just like I love all my friends that live in different cities and stuff. We don't see each other as much as we used to. I'm on my work. I'm on my way out of here, Don. I'll be retiring soon, and I'm gonna do what Cheryl did. You know what I'm saying? We have a colleague in common, Cheryl Burns, who she's a very let's just say she's done well for herself. She's very wealthy, and I don't mean rich. There's a difference between rich and wealthy. Cheryl Burns is very wealthy, and she has blessed Don and I with opportunities earlier in our careers and things of that nature. And it's always good to have friends like Cheryl. Well, anyway, when she checked out of industry, she blessed us and she came around to all the different cities. And I'm going to do a city tour when I get out of here, Don. When I retire in the next 16 to 18 months, brother, I'm coming to California and I'm sleeping on the couch and I'm going to eat all your cereal up. So tell the wife to be ready. Cousin Wyatt is coming. I'm coming. And I want the sugar pops and I want the Reese's. I want all that. I'm coming, brother. And I save me a spot. And I know I won't be on the couch because y'all wouldn't do me like that. But anyway, man, thanks for coming in to Wyatt Live. I appreciate everybody who's here. Drop. He said, come on with it. All right, I got you. Yeah, Drop, I got some, I'm going to drop a few things on Drop today. It's nothing bad. Drop is cool. Drop just tried to make it seem like yesterday's conversation about these kids and being able to go into and Don, you'll understand this too, because you understood what Drop was saying, because y'all got these programs out on the West Coast that, that benefit kids and the NIL deals and all that type of stuff. But I'm about to show you today that it's not like that for everybody. Even though they have access to these resources, you still have to have a supporting system in order to make people, for these kids to participate. Not all these kids are proactive. They may even want to do it. But if their parents are working too much or the coaches aren't motivated to do all this because the coaches is just doing what they just coaching, these kids don't have the same opportunities. And I'm telling y'all, we played on a little league baseball team in Cincinnati. This is not a to be continued. I just got to get the build up for the video that I'm going to show in a little bit. We played on a city team in the city of Cincinnati, traveled, went to Gatlinburg to play. We went all over and played, and we were untouchable. And you had 13 little boys riding around in a two-door Regal, stretch door Regal, and Ron Craig, Deion Craig's dad, his car. Now, how the hell you gonna get 13 little law home little boys in a two-door Regal? We did it, damn it. And had a water cooler in our bags. You know, we had the batting bag with the bats and the balls and all that in there. We had it all. We made it happen. But the point of that is this. We were just very athletic little kids from down the way that teams couldn't beat. We weren't getting the basics of the game. We weren't getting all of that. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We didn't get the proper coaching. We didn't have a daddy or anybody like that to come out in the after practice. I would go home and throw the ball up against the wall and play like I'm Dave Concepcion. I practiced by myself. I threw the ball up against the wall. I would pitch to myself. You know what I'm saying? I would throw the ball up against the wall and then hit it. When I was a kid, we learned how to play by ourselves. It was like if we had social media, we probably wouldn't have been as good as we are in the sport, because that would have took us away from being outside. You notice a lot of kids don't go outside today because social media bogs them down. But that being said, we didn't really have that much training and didn't have that much. We had coaches, but they were more like supervisors of talent. They didn't coach us. They didn't coach us up. And I hate to say that. I mean, I'm just being honest. I still respect them because they were grown ass men that had their own families, and they taught. They actually became a father figure to us. You know, from going to practice and traveling and all of that. Like LeBron James's coach when he was coming up, kept him out the streets. My point is, what I was trying to make to drop yesterday was very clear. Just because these programs exist don't mean everybody take advantage of them, because some don't even know they exist and others just don't have the supporting system to make them aware of these programs that exist. They just don't have it. It leads me into what I want to talk about today. Happy Juneteenth to everyone. Let me tell you something. I'm not an advocate for Juneteenth because of some things that I personally know about the situation, and I have that opportunity. I have that choice to feel the way I feel. I'm not against it. I just think that it's being used as a ploy, a situation to make us once again celebrate and keep us smiling and doing dancing and doing all that old shit. Okay, it's cool. One thing I do like about it is the awareness that it brings. That's a positive. You know, the awareness that I'm talking about? Some only see that it was the day that the soldiers came down and they told the slaves in Texas that they were free. That's fine. All true. Y'all been free for a while. No, we ain't. Well, they didn't have the internet. They couldn't read. They didn't have the newspapers to their access to. They weren't accessible to newspapers or any publications that would let them know. So of course the troops came down, let them know. Some say it was an accident that it happened. Some say it was on purpose. I don't care what some say, they wasn't there. They're reading things just like everybody else to come up with their conclusion of what really happened. But the truth of the matter is, for me, what I like about it all is this, the awareness. Like, for instance, the radio today did an excellent job at going down in front of, I don't know what it was. I forgot what building it was, but it was the Urban League building, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot of people that love to correct me when I'm wrong. So correct me if I'm wrong. Urban League or something of that nature. And you know what they did? They showed everybody opportunities that have been there. Them opportunities aren't brand new. These are opportunities that have always been there. Some of them are new, some of them are old, but they're opportunities. And those are the things that we say we never have. A lot of people say, we don't have that. If we had access to such and such, we would be able to do such and such. And all I say to people is we do have access to those things. People get upset at me when I tell you we have access to things. They get upset at me. Oh, well, you don't really know. He don't really know. What do you think all these nonprofit organizations are? Most nonprofit organizations are access to information. They are programs put in place to be available for people that don't have it just regularly. You know what I'm saying? They don't wake up with the support system. So that nonprofit organization is set there for the support. That's what they're for. And there's a ton of them. That's like this. I hate to use this as an example, but I don't know any other way. If a lady says, I'm getting abused, she's in front of a judge down in courtroom A and she says, I'm being beat up and abused by my boyfriend and I don't know what to do, there's definitely going to be somebody that's going to pull her to the side in that same courtroom and say, hello, my name is Jennifer and I work with Women Helping Women. That's a nonprofit organization that I've been supporting for 15 years of my life that will support someone with the resources they need not to be in those situations, how to deal with those situations. You know what some people would say? We ain't got nothing for women that's being abused out here. We ain't got no program. We don't have nothing. And if the police don't come, we just ass out. Because I ain't got no brothers. And my mama and them, they all gone. I'm just out here with the kids by myself. But what we don't think about are the resources and the lack of exposing those resources to people. So some people just think that shit is just slow out here for everybody. Like it ain't like there's no resources. We never think that there's resources, but people just don't know how to access them. I've always said information is key. Information is key. You know, people don't really like, one of the reasons why a lot of people don't really like Wyatt Live is because just my attitude on resources. The same people that say how they doing us and this and that. I listen to Scotty. I listen to all those guys, and I got a special kind of spot for Scotty. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, in a good way. I listen. I didn't hear all of him and Cecil Thomas. I didn't hear all of that because I was doing something and I couldn't hear it. And that's the only one I really wanted to hear. All the other stuff I knew existed. Mortar for small businesses, the little brothers. Their office is right across the street from my office. One of my offices in downtown Cincinnati. They recently moved, but they were there for a few years. I knew that establishment was there for up-and-coming small business owners, primarily minorities. Had a couple buddies go over to Mortar and graduate from their program. That's a resource. But if you let people tell you, we ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing out here for people to be able to prosper off of. We're lacking resources. That's not true. We're lacking the knowledge of where the resources are. That's why I like that celebration, because Mr. Ware and them did an excellent job of not taking no bullshit ass phone calls. Excuse my language. Excuse my approach to it. They didn't take any phone calls. You know what they did today? Every time I tuned in, they were talking to some nonprofit organization or a small business that was down there promoting themselves and showing everybody and telling everybody what services they provide. All I heard was a bunch of freaking opportunity. All I heard was a bunch of people that's doing something. And if you're lacking something, I guarantee you there was somebody there that can give you some information on how to do better or point you in the right direction. I can't be mad at that. Sorry, if y'all want me to be bitching and complaining and mad because the resources are all coming together. No, I'm not mad at that. It's no different than what I've been saying. It's just if you don't look at it that way, if you just think that I'm being cynical by challenging leadership, challenging people for the things that they say we can't do, then this is the wrong program for you. I probably ain't been talking to you for 4 years anyway. So that is what I'm passionate about. I want to hear about the grants. I want to hear about the rent relief. I want to hear about the mortgage programs. I want to hear about those things so people, and you know what? I know they exist. Google knows they exist. People in the community know they exist. But what it takes are people in the community to activate it. Let me give you a perfect example. I was watching the news this morning, and they're talking about how rents, rents, are at an all-time high. And I know it is because I was looking, I did some research just for the hell of it. Just for the hell of it, I wanted to know if I was out there and I had a wife and 2 kids, how much would it cost me to get a a 3-bedroom. My wife and I, my 2 kids would get their own, let's just say. And if they were 12 and I don't know, 15 and 12 all over again, or 15 and 11, they're 4 years of difference, and they both had their own room, I would need a 4-bedroom apartment right now. And I looked it up and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's no way in hell I would pay that much money for an apartment. I guess I would if I had to. But my mind leads me to, well, what can I own for $2,200? What can I own for $1,800? And I know everybody's mind is not there. That's not what I'm suggesting. That's where your mind should be. But people are out here paying mortgage money on rent. That's all I'm saying to you. You're paying mortgage money for rent. It shouldn't be that way. Don said 2-bedroom in Compton, $2,500. I can't imagine what a 3-bedroom must be $3,000. And let's be honest, Don, we all know that them apartments in Cali for $2,500, that's gonna be like a 1-bedroom connector here in Cincinnati. It ain't gonna be, and y'all, the houses in Compton in California are smaller. And you get like, damn, I mean, you don't get anything for your money unless you're getting some money out there. Unless you paid out there, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. But a 2-bedroom apartment in California in Compton, $2,500, that's about as big as it's gonna be about as big as my studio. You'll hear the toilet flush from every room in the house. All I'm saying to you is, excuse me, people are paying mortgage money for rent. And it shouldn't be that way. There should be a level. Hold on, let me see. There's some people putting some money up there. Let me read these before I make that last point. Dominique, what's up, sis? Dominique said, shoot, a 2-bedroom is going for $1,200. Yeah, I can believe that. And it all depends. And also, Don put his community up. He said in Compton. So a 2-bedroom for $1,200, that's steep. But what part of town is that, Dominique? You see what I'm saying? Because area matters too. Where you stay and where you lay your head, what area you in matters too. What's up, Tracy? Tracy Dillingham says, my son, excuse me, I'm sorry, the screen is moving. She said, my son pays $1,100 a month for a 1-bedroom in Kentucky. That's outrageous. That is outrageous. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something secretly about myself, about what's going on. My oldest daughter is now done at Ohio State, but now she's going to medical school. All right. My youngest daughter finished her first year in Belmont in Nashville, and she reports back to school. August something, the early part of August. It's one of them days, right? Check it. We have to get her an apartment because now she's a senior. I know this sounds weird, but she went in as a junior. She went in as a junior because of her credit hours from high school. She got some credit hours from the University of Cincinnati that transferred over to Belmont. It's a long story, but now my youngest is going into her Belmont year as a senior. They have to get apartments. So her and her buddy are doing they're doing a roommate connect. They're connecting, with each other to be roommates, but they need an apartment. So we're going down there. We search for apartments on the online thing, and I'm looking at how much these apartments rent for in Nashville, and it is off the hook. I'm $1,500, $1,600 out of pocket per month just on my end. I ain't talking about they paying $1,600 combined. It's $1,600 a piece. These apartments that they're getting into are over $3,000, $3,200, $3,300 a month, plus utilities. Makes me want to go to Nashville and buy something. I need a piece of property down here. See what I'm saying? Because for $3,500, I'm going to get me something. And if she had to stay 4 years, damn it, I strategically would probably do that. But she's not staying that long. I could go down there and spend $350,000, $400,000 and have a mortgage payment of somewhere around $3,500, close to $4,000, and rent it to some college students. But my God, where is the structure? Why didn't my mom, why didn't my grandma see let me, as much as I praise my grandmother, let me tell you something that the biggest praise, the biggest praise I'll give my grandmother was her truth to me. She was always honest, even in her mistakes. Oh, Rand, I should have never done this. I never should have done that. And she would tell me those truths so I wouldn't make those mistakes. And the first thing I remember, the most pivotal thing I remember my grandmother ever telling me was when she was renting a house in Mount Auburn. One of my cousins moved out of it. She moved out of it, and my grandmother wanted that piece of property. She wanted to rent it. Thank God it was black owned. I ain't gonna lie to you. I forgot his name, but I'm Facebook friends with his granddaughter, Kendra. We're cool. We're friends. That whole little community over in Mount Auburn, we all were cool. And I'm glad that the owners of those properties were black. I don't feel as bad. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Here, my grandmother is gonna step right in from another apartment building in Walnut Hills into Mount Auburn, into a community. She wanted the community. She loved the next door neighbor. It reminded her of the old days. Stephanie and all them, her mom, and I got friends today who lived in that they mamas and people lived in that community. And when they all got along, it was like, pass the sugar type days, can I borrow some sugar type of shit? It was one of them type of communities. It was a lovely thing. But my grandmother told me my biggest regret, and she told me on that same porch that she was renting, she told me right to my face. She said, Rand, the biggest mistake I ever done in my life is I never bought a piece of property. Now, that probably wasn't the largest mistake of her life. I think she was just trying to tell me that to make it more critical. But she told me, she said, the biggest mistake I ever made in my life, and I think she was being drama, she was adding a little drama to it. She was being a chaos agent. Granny said. And she's looking at the place and she's like, the biggest mistake I made in my life. Sorry, I was reading the comment. The biggest mistake I ever made in my life is I never bought a piece of property. And I didn't understand it. I said, what do you mean, Granny? Now I'm 18, 19 years old or something like that. And I said, I don't understand. What do you mean, Granny? She said, the one thing that I felt like I did is I kept paying rent. And here I am renting now, and this is going to be where I'm going to go. And this is the same home that she died in. And she felt bad because she was not going to be able to leave that home to me, leave it to my mother, leave it to her son, my uncle. So that's why she went that direction of telling me, like, always put your money towards something that you can, that's an asset. That's what she was trying to tell me. My grandmother was not college educated. She was barely, she graduated high school and she went straight into the workforce like most people do. But I have never in my life met she's the smartest basic person I've ever met in my life. She scrubbed floors at McAlbin's in the tea cup. What was it called? The tea kettle, the kettle tea or some tea kettle. 40 years she worked. And I never met a smarter person in my life. And I think it was those small combinations of conversations that she would give me that led up to my beliefs to this day. And I just, I'm trying to figure out this. I'm going to jump back to this rent. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to pay $1,600 a month. My daughter's roommate is bringing $1,600 a month to the table. They're paying $3,200 a month for a place near the university. And I'm saying to myself, man, I could buy something for that. And then you got people that say, well, we didn't know. We didn't know about those programs, or we didn't know to buy houses. And then they bring up redlining and all the other shit. Well, redlining's been gone for a long time. And to be honest with you, I know this ain't going to go over too well because people use redlining as a really serious way of seeing how things are today. But I don't understand, why is it that we have such a problem with somebody making us all stay together? I know that sounds painful and it don't sound good to the ears and it sounds fucked up to some people. But what I want to know is, when did we stop liking each other or loving each other so much that we just had to get away from one another? We couldn't build equity in our own neighborhoods. We couldn't build equity and unity. Why did we try to get advanced and then advance out and advance away from one another? Why did it get to, how did it get to that point? I know that people plug out off that. They'll plug off because they'll misunderstand my whole point. I just want to know, why did I feel like I had to leave and take the equity out of my community? Because people, when you're a lawyer or a doctor, or when you are a physician, anything that you are as a profession, if you live in those communities, you up the value of those communities. Yeah, because you bring your equity to the area. Why did we leave? Why were we so eager to get away from one another? That's all I want to know. Some people are going to be like, well, you don't live in no black neighborhood. I live in probably one of the most diverse neighborhoods I've ever lived in my life. I have to go probably 7 houses down before I reach the first white person. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, there's white people in my neighborhood. There's black people in my neighborhood, but there sure is a couple Indians. There's a couple Mexicans. And I mean, when I say Mexicans, I mean real Mexicans. Like, you know how you'd be like, it ain't no like the people that you might think are they, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about established individuals. I'm not talking about people that y'all want to put tattoos and try to make them look like thugged out people and blah. And I'm talking about established individuals. I hear you, Tanika. She said some people don't want to be around ninjas. None of us really do. And I'm talking about white ninjas, black ninjas, Mexican ninjas. See, I don't think a ninja got a color to it. I think it's a mentality. I know a lot of white ninjas. Some may not agree with that. My father-in-law, God rest his soul, got into an argument with a dude on the road one day, and I happened to be with him. And there was this guy in their neighborhood who owned a bar on some of y'all might know this, on Baltimore Avenue. Okay, Baltimore Avenue, and it was called Max Tavern or something like that. It was called Max. And my father-in-law would go in there all the time. Now, Max happened to be a white man that owned this bar on Baltimore Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio. And every time, you know how people get drunk, get lit in these bars. You know what I'm saying? Every time my father-in-law get mad at this dude, this white dude who had mixed crowd, my father-in-law called him a ninja, but he used a real word. And it used to trip me out when I used to see some of the old heads call the white dudes ninjas. And I mean, using the N-word. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It wasn't ninja. It was the real thing. And I asked him one day, I just asked him, I said, why do you call him that? You know what I'm saying? He said, because it ain't no such thing as a black ninja. A ninja is a ninja. Now, he's using the real word. He said, it ain't no such thing. Now, I was just dating my wife. So, that's been 30 years ago. He said, ain't no such thing as a black ninja. Just a black ninja. Ninjas come in all colors. I thought about that and I said, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I think ninja is it's a mentality. Now, I don't think it's always been that way. I think it was a word used to be very derogatory and to make people feel less than. But then I think as normal, what we do is we elevate in life and we tend to twist things around. It's like, bad used to be bad. Now bad is dope. You know what I'm saying? Bad is dope. Like, man, that moment. And dope is dope. Dope is great. Dope used to be a stupid person. You a dope. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Words just tend to, redefine themselves over the decades, and people change them and all of that stuff. So, I mean, I just learned something in that moment when he told me, man, ninjas is all colors. And I'm like, damn, that's absolutely true. There's a whole lot of ninjas over in Norwood. There's a whole lot of ninjas in Price Hill. We used to play up against them. We used to play them. A whole lot. All right, so I got some things to talk about today, but before I do, let me go to the phone lines. I got about an hour before I get out of here, and I want everybody to enjoy their day, their Wednesday, their Juneteenth. And before I move on, let me go to the phone lines and see what we got cooking on the phones. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, it's Bay.
Hey,
Bay O Wolf.
Hey, Bay O Wolf. How you doing today?
I'm pleasant, per usual.
Good.
Yeah, what were you going to talk about? I thought you had already set it up. Did I miss something?
Oh, no. I mean, there was a couple things I was going to talk about when it came down to some stuff from yesterday. And you kind of like the perfect person for this too. This is Fame, right?
Yeah.
Fame?
Beowulf. Yeah.
Fame, yesterday I was talking to your guy. Drop 52 out of California. And
that's my man.
That's your man, $100,000. I understand. Some of y'all both be wrong at the same time, so I'm with y'all. I'm cool with it. But but yesterday we were talking about opportunities and with the young kids in baseball. And I know you've been a baseball ref, and I don't know if you've ever coached any baseball, but you've definitely been in the refereeing game, and Drop was a referee as well. And he was talking about yesterday. I was talking about some things as far as kids from certain schools not having the same opportunities that the other kids have in certain areas. Because he was talking about California Fame. He was talking about the kids out there. They put their Facebook page and they connect all their social media up so scouts can see them and this and this and that. And what I was trying to tell him is, yes, we understand that those opportunities are there, but not all these kids have the same support system to be able to do those things that are out there for them. Now, would you agree or disagree with that?
That's 100% accurate.
Okay. Well, see, Drop was trying to tell us how easy it was, and I'm not denying that it's not easy. I'm saying that along with the what's out there, you still have to have a support system. You still got to have people, coaches, mentors, family that'll help you access all those resources and put you in a position to win. And Drop kind of made it sound like it ain't no big deal. All they got to do is put a video on the YouTube and that's it. And I'm saying, no, it's more to it than that. You know Zion Williams, the basketball player.
Absolutely.
Now, he got a Duke scholarship off of a video reel, but I'm sure that it can't, he put out more than just his dunks. I'm sure they showed some of his high school games, but Fame, wouldn't you say that somebody invested into that kid to get that video out to them D1 schools for him to look like he looked on those tapes?
I don't know, because that's kind of weird. I mean, more likely, but then again, he's from South Carolina, which is one state over from Duke in North Carolina, so he's pretty much a local kid to them. And but you can see from the videos that kid's a superior athletic talent.
Yes, but
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Fame, any kid that can go to Duke could probably go to any basketball program in the country.
Oh, indeed.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
No, you're 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm agreeing more to what you're saying than what he's saying. He might be specific, talking specifically about California.
You're coming around, Fame. You coming around.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, that might be that. As far as his locale, I don't know. The high school sport. I mean, I know they got tons. It's a very populous state, so I know they got tons of high school teams and players and whatnot. Yes. So that it's kind of nuanced and stuff when it comes to that.
Yes.
But like around here locally, like take Reds RBI.
Okay.
You're talking baseball. Reds RBI, that team. It's supposed to have been an inner city. A travel like teams for inner city youth who could make it to these, these high competitive tournaments and
Yeah.
play, higher level baseball at their ages.
Yes.
And lately, the past 3, 4, 5 years, I've seen it grow to the point where it's no longer just inner city kids. It's like, put it like this: the last RBI game I did, the catcher was from Moeller.
Yeah. See.
I'm like, what the hell are you doing on this team?
Yeah. See, that shouldn't happen. I'm sorry. I know people gonna be
tripping. You're 1,000% right.
That shouldn't happen.
It's like, okay, you could make the teams in the suburbs, so you come down here.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen. That should make a team.
Coaches from Westchester and things like that.
Make a team out there. Make a team out there. Don't come down here taking away a privilege, an opportunity. I don't agree with that. I can't roll with that.
It's kind of it's kind of BS. Like this wasn't made for you.
Now hold on. I got to give it the benefit of the doubt. Damn it, it's just because of who I am. Did this kid come on his own, or did they reach out and go get a kid? You see what I'm saying? Because that's what our coaches used to do, bro. It probably wasn't fair that downtown, Laura Homes, the Fay Apartments, English Woods, over the Rhine, we had kids from all inner city, but they were all from different neighborhoods because Coach Ron put us all together. He made an all-star team, bro. So I know how coaches could sometimes go to different neighborhoods and go get some kids and go pick them up before practice and drop them off after practice. So is this?
No, man. These are white kids. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, one kid I spoke to, because if I'm the home plate umpire, or if I'm the, on the bases, I talk to the kids, between plays and whatnot, blah blah blah. I've seen kids from Milford, Ross, high school, where they ain't, you go out there, you the only nigga in sight.
Yeah.
In some of these schools,
and that's.
It's like, ooh.
Are you saying those are the kids that are migrating to the RBI program in Cincinnati?
Yes, they are taking it over.
That shouldn't happen. And we're going to lose it. You know that, right? They're going to lose
exactly.
it. They're going to lose it. And here's the thing. Let me tell you how you lose it. How you look, because I'm going to tell you this, and it's going to step on some toes, and it ain't going to make some people feel good. And it's going to sound like I'm being a little racist little guy here. But to be honest with you, the way we lose programs like that is when we don't get our kids into them. You see, when we don't get our kids involved in those programs that are there for them, somebody's going to come around and take those opportunities and take that good program, that whole big building down there, that indoor facility. Somebody going to come down and use it. If little Ray and them don't want to play baseball and that big ass facility is there, those people built it for baseball and they're going to put baseball players in that building. You get what I'm saying to you?
Indeed. No, you're 100% accurate on that. That's exactly what's going to happen. Reds wanted it to be used. They're not going to let it sit dormant unless somebody comes, give them an offer. They can't refuse to buy it.
Yeah.
And they're going to make sure that the building gets used, so maybe that's what was going on. There wasn't enough inner city program, to use it, or inner city participants to use it. So they said start reaching out to the suburbs, because if you go into the dugouts of those, that park right there, Roselawn Park or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
If you go into the dugouts, you will see there's a sign that says RBI players, make sure you scan in, because I guess they get grants from that, based on participation.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? And matter of fact, I'm certain that's what happened, because I heard a coach telling another player that. But other than, let me see, there's one guy, I think his team is either 15 or 16. And then there's another guy. His team is like probably slightly younger, maybe 11 or 12. To this point, all I've seen is white coaches this year.
Okay.
White head coaches this year. Unless they got two at each team at each age, I don't know. Unless they got two teams at each age, some organizations do. But that's all I've seen is white RBI coaches. Like, this is not what was going on 10 years ago when this shit started.
Yeah, well, you know what's going to happen. If we don't get some of our kids involved in those programs, we're going to be sitting back saying they took it from us. But the truth of the matter is, you know what I'm saying? The truth of the matter is, if we don't get our kids involved in those things, they're not going to, I'm going to use your word, they're not going to allow it to sit dormant because they sunk too much money into it. And then we're going to sit back and say, look how they took it over, look what they did to us and blah, blah, blah. When in fact, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I said this yesterday, because my man Donald Broach was on here and he's involved in Taft baseball. He's always giving back. He's a good brother. We baseball heads from down the way. Now,
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you, you can tell that baseball is fading away in our community simply because you don't see kids really talking about it much. They're not involved in it much. And the high school schedule for Taft High School and Cincinnati Public Schools was 10 games, fam. We had 10 spring training games back in our day. We would play
Right.
10 games. We would play double headers in a day. Back in our day, we played 10 games in a week. Damn near a week,
Oh,
week
yeah.
and a half. And they have a
Yeah.
full schedule in baseball in high school in Cincinnati Public Schools of 10 games, bro. That's
And
crazy.
let me tell you, as a game official, there are 10 painful games.
I can believe
They're,
it.
they're not worth the money. It's like I did not come out here to watch some high school sophomores and juniors and seniors play a 16 to 13 game.
Right.
This ain't baseball.
Right.
What the hell's going on here?
Let me
Walk
ask you a
fest. I don't want to get into the minutiae of baseball, but it's like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Throw a strike.
Yeah.
Why don't you mix in some strikes?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? That type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, the instructional is just not there. Okay. It's not there.
Clearly isn't.
Okay. And that's why I didn't want to say the other day, I didn't want to attack because I got a little nephew. Okay, fame. This is what I talked about yesterday. I have a nephew that's the number 3 ranked kid in Ohio, and he's only a freshman. He was second on stolen bases. Now, keep in mind, fame, if he's second in stolen bases and they only had a 10-game season, what does that tell you, fame? The other schools that they competed against, the other competition throughout Ohio, those teams played 30 games, 25 to 30 games. My nephew played 10 games and still came in. He's like the 3rd ranked player in the state of Ohio with a third of the games. He got to get out of there. He got to go somewhere else. He got to go to a different program. You see what I'm saying? That's what I was trying to tell people, and they was saying, they didn't understand what I was talking about. But a kid that's number 3 in the state who's playing a third of the baseball games that they're playing, that kid could be number 1 if he had 20 more games on his schedule.
That reminds me of a time. It's about 2 years ago. I was, I'm in this group called Black Boys Play Baseball, and there was this parent, a couple parents actually. They were bragging about their son being a 7th grader making varsity.
Yeah.
In baseball, and I was like, that's not necessarily a good thing. Like, that tells me that the program is bad.
Yeah.
That a 12-year-old can make varsity. Is like, who's he going to learn from to get better with?
Well, let me say something about that. Can I say something about that's that's extreme. A 12th grader making varsity at a high school, that's extreme. That kind of says a bad program, and I'm not just saying this because of my story that I'm gonna tell you. But a 12-year-old making varsity baseball says that their program is probably weak. However, fame, let me just say this. I lived in Lawton, Oklahoma. I went to Eisenhower Junior High and Eisenhower High School are on the same ground. We practice on the same field. I played 3 games as an 8th grader. And I was promoted to the high school team in the 8th grade. And I played varsity baseball. And I played shortstop for Eisenhower High School when I was in the 8th grade. So it's possible that somebody is talented enough to skip. But keep in mind, I'm 14, 15 years old at that time. I'm about 14.
There's a huge difference between a 9th grader and a 7th grader.
There is, but I just wanted to tell you, maybe this 12-year-old, I was saying this for the point of, for the argument, maybe this 12-year-old is just very talented because I was I had a little bit of talent as a baseball player, and in the 8th grade, I ended up playing varsity. I played varsity baseball for the high school when I was in junior high, and I'm gonna tell you that town turned upside down because that white town, you know what I mean? Everybody who owned something was pretty much white, and their kid played on the team, and everybody owe everybody. You know how the mayor is the third base coach. The third base son is the mayor's son, is the mayor's kid.
Yeah, you're talking about high school graduating classes of about 47 people.
Yeah, bro. And I came in.
Let's keep it honest. The talent pool isn't there in law. That's at worst. At best, the third biggest. But the third most populous city in that whole state. That's at best.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something, bro. When you say that the talent wasn't there, It really was. I just, you know what was wrong with me? I was just a raw kid, like Donald Broach, like what I've been talking about for the last
I mean,
couple of days.
yeah, you might have been nice like that.
Yeah,
You might have been the next
because I
Barry
grew up in
Larkin.
the
I don't
boys
know, you know.
because we grew up in the boys club, bro. Like we eat and
No.
slept. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do nothing but play sports all day, every day growing up downtown. In LeBlanc Boys and Girls Club, you know about it. You was there.
Yeah, exactly. Here on June 19th, when I was, 8, 9, 10 years old, there's no way we wouldn't have went to Carl Street Pool, swam all morning, went home, and then by 6 p.m., somebody's playing bat on the bounce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You out there playing some other sport, doing something active. But see, we didn't have these disadvantages that these kids have today. I'll be honest. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We didn't have the internet back then. We didn't have all these other distractions that could keep us in the house and keep us in our closed doors in our rooms. And we didn't have Instagram, and we didn't have all the things that could keep us away from being outdoors. We didn't have all of that back then. What kept me in the house was a punishment. That's the only thing that kept me in the house. If I did some shit and my mama told me I couldn't go outside, that's the only thing that kept me in the house.
Oh yeah, there's some validity to that. But also, I want to talk about two things that we've been talking about. One of them you mentioned yesterday.
All right.
You were talking to the gentleman about prison.
Yes.
And somebody, I guess on the Lincoln Ware show, somebody said something about prison can't be all that bad if everybody keep going to it, blah blah blah.
Right.
And I believe it was you that made the comment that said anybody who says something like that ain't never been to prison.
No. Let me tell you what the person said so we can have it in proper context. He said the guy who made the comment on the radio station said to the host that prisons aren't hard. He didn't say that it's easy. He didn't say that people keep going back to jail. He did, in a sense, try to make it seem like the reason why people keep going back to jail is because it's an easy thing to do. It's not that hard. He was saying that jail should be harder than it is. And it's easy. He said jail is easy. And I said, I said, anybody that thinks jail is easy is one of two things: never been there before, or has learned to adapt to, being a prisoner. That's it. I mean, anybody else, bro, there's people that go to jail and lose their mind and kill themselves because they can't take it.
No, you're right. No, and that's the part I want to talk about, the person that's never been there. Because it made me laugh because we were talking about that same earlier this week. We were talking about the tank fight, when he won, and then, in the bet that I won on it, blah, blah, blah. And somebody in the comments of this show said something like, yeah, these sports betting apps have ruined sports.
Huh?
And they said that. Listen, let me bring it home to you. They said that in the comments, and I was thinking, like, that's obviously somebody who doesn't win in their sports bets. You know what I'm saying? Like, that nobody who wins sports bets will ever say something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I don't make enough money to live support a lifestyle or anything, but it gives me enough money to play Good Samaritan at the Sheraton.
I got you.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Yeah. So I was just thinking about that. And also, we keep talking about, I'm gonna wrap up that the debate between you and I and that ashy, musty woman who yelled at her son in front of the cops. Did the victory lap on him. The reason I'm bringing it back up because every time we talk about it, I get off the phone, you say something else to try to buttress your point. And,
all right, well, I'm gonna let you have the last word on that, man. Go ahead.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say about it. This is the last thing I'll
take a body shot, and I promise I ain't gonna swing back. I promise you.
No, it ain't gonna be a body shot. It's gonna be a little jab.
Okay, I won't swing back. I won't even block it. Go ahead.
Ask your principal, homie.
Mm-hmm.
How do students with parents like that? How does it affect their academic performance?
Okay.
Their citizenry in school. Think about that. I'm telling you, that woman's an asshole. I digress.
You have a point. Negative energy. Now, this is not me shooting back. This is me agreeing, right? Negative energy tends to knock down self-esteem.
Exactly.
When you have a parent or somebody that tells you, like Eddie Kane, daddy told him, you ain't going to be shit because I ain't shit, that generally works out to be the case for the kid. But I didn't get the
Yeah.
vibe from that lady, and I'm not gonna get into that because I told you I was gonna let you have the same the last
I
vibe.
just, yeah, like I said, I just remember that you know, I just noticed that you always do that. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
I won't
It's
swing
always
back.
a pleasure. Yeah, I should
Oh,
be able to holler at you tomorrow. Yeah,
Fame.
go
I do
ahead.
have one thing, man. I wanted to let you. I know you probably already know this, but you're a perfect person to be on the phone with when I say this. But I don't know for the listeners if you all noticed. We were just talking about baseball, and I don't know if y'all noticed, but we lost a legend, and we lost
Oh
Willie.
yeah.
We lost Willie Mays, and Willie Mays is a special person to me. And I didn't really want to talk about this because I don't bring my family our real personal stuff into these things. But Willie Mays has ties to Cincinnati, okay? And remember when we got into a conversation and they were like, what would I say if my daughter came home with a different, like a white dude, Asian dude, or Mexican dude, or whatever like that? And I said it might
Mm-hmm.
be a little weird because my daughter tends to be into this other kid. It's a kid. Well, his name is
Mm-hmm.
his name is Lee May. Okay, Lee Mays, and it happens to be the grandson of Willie Mays. So my daughters broke up right now, not crushed because they didn't really know each other like that. But when your boyfriend is hurt because his grandfather dies, then it kind of, whenever your children are hurt, you tend to get hurt a little bit. But I just wanted to let you know, Fame, that Willie Mays, and I know you knew this already, but we lost Willie Mays. He was a tremendous baseball player. He was a good guy away from the game, and he will be missed. And let me just say this last part: Willie Mays and them guys. I've never really respected Major League Baseball and their stats. Never.
Uh-huh.
I've never respected it because it never let the best players play. They never
Right.
had the best players in Major League Baseball competing for the home run numbers, the stolen base numbers, the strikeout numbers. They never allowed black folks into the game till late in the game. So I don't think that and I've said this years ago. I said I think that every Hall of Fame stat in Major League Baseball should have an asterisk next to it. I said that 3-4 years ago.
Mm.
And that's because they did not allow. And here's the thing, bro. This is the crazy thing. When the Negro League was formed, it was doing numbers. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was doing
Mm-hmm.
absolute numbers. There wasn't an empty seat in the house when these brothers and sisters had their own league. Do you understand? The wives and the women, the black women in the community would do all the cooking and they would have a cookout. It would be a tailgate like at a bingo game, every baseball game back in those days. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It was a
Mm-hmm.
money generating thing. They had black hotels that housed these individuals. It was a money mechanism. And what happened? As soon as we migrated and got into the Major League Baseball, what collapsed? The Negro League. That power, that economic power that we had, that we could have called our own, they took it from us because we wanted to be part of what they created. If we would have kept it. That's the only thing. And I had that conversation with Mr. Mays. He didn't like it because that's the one thing that he looked. That's like my grandmother when she looked at me and said, the biggest mistake I made in my life is I didn't buy some property. I didn't buy a house. That was the
Mm.
same look I got from Willie Mays. And I'm gonna tell you who else. Oscar Robertson. He's the same individual. These old heads will teach you a lot just by watching their reactions to what you say to them. They don't even have
Oh
to say
yeah.
anything. Big O, a good dude, whether y'all like him or not. He a good dude. But
Well,
Willie
yeah. Well,
Mays,
as you
rest in
know,
peace.
Willie Mays, he wasn't at the. There were no black baseball players, as a matter of fact, at the summit. But Kareem and Bill Russell and Muhammad Ali and all them, Jim Brown,
Yeah,
there were no black baseball players there. No Hank Aaron, no Willie Mays,
right.
none of them. Just because at that time baseball wouldn't lend itself to that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but hey, what's funny? I'll say this, then I'm gonna hang up.
Okay.
One thing that chaps my ass about these youth baseball teams right now is that, like, you get a lot of these teams, they got all white guys except one player, usually a biracial kid, and he wears number 42. And it's like, that's so trite. Cut that dumb shit out. You know what I'm saying? For Jackie Robinson, like, cut that goofy shit out.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's corny.
You think that's
I can't believe your parents allowed you to do that.
You think it's manufactured? You think that's on purpose?
It's clearly manufactured because, I mean, let's be honest, you play ball, race jokes are a part of the locker room.
Yeah.
Race jokes, racial innuendo, all that kind of stuff. It's a part of the locker room culture.
Let me ask
You know,
you
as long as
something.
it doesn't get too heavy, you know, like that, you know, everybody's usually cool with it. And that's why I said, that's why I specified a biracial kid.
Let me
You
ask
know,
you
no
something.
black parent would allow their child to do that.
Let me ask you something. Didn't Major League Baseball retire that number?
Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe it should be retired throughout the sport. It's important. I mean, that will stop
Shit.
what you just, seen, what you just seen, the things that you say that you see. It's not just one time. You said you've seen that consistently, right?
Yeah.
Well, it would cut
Oh
down
yeah,
on
a
that.
lot of times, yeah.
I mean, that is. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's manufactured or not. You're out there in the game. I don't know, bro. You would see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know what numbers these kids are wearing these
The
days.
reason I say it's manufactured because it happens too often for it to not be.
I got you.
And
Yeah.
it's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell he's like the biracial kid on the team, doesn't know his black dad because there's no black men in the stands on his team. And it's like, so he probably grows up with a white stepdad and just, you can just tell, like, it's like, this ain't even fly. Please cut this corny shit out.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to hop off of here.
Okay,
it's
bro.
always a pleasure, Mr. Wyatt.
Appreciate you.
We'll try this again some other day this week. And if not, we'll try it next week.
All right.
But until then, everybody be blessed. Oh!
Appreciate you, Fame. That's Fame engaging. Fame said, stop wearing number 42. Stop wearing number 42, kids, especially if you biracial. It was making sense. And then he got into, Fame could make it so much extra. he can make it a little bit more than where he can stretch that shit out. He like my granny and them stretching that cornbread. he will stretch a meatloaf. You get it? He will stretch a meatloaf, boy. He can stretch But anyway, yeah, I understand. But yeah, we lost Willie Mays, excuse me. And my daughter's boyfriend, my oldest daughter's boyfriend is Lee May, and Willie Mays is his grandfather. And yeah, that they having a little situation now where she wants to try to go to the funeral and all that, and waiting to hear all the logistics of what's going to happen and all that. So of course, she's gonna, she's gonna go or whatever. But anyway, let's move on, man. Let me play this video. Let me find this video. And this is kind of like when I said I wanted to show like a receipt of some sort. This is what I'm talking about of not having the same resources. I think Drop was having these conversations with me yesterday. And I was just trying to show him that all these kids don't have the same resources. And just lo and behold, just as of yesterday, Cincinnati is running a story about Mount Healthy School District not having the resources to be able to do the sports programs. So now what they're moving into is a pay to play type of situation. And I think that's right on time to the point that I was trying to make yesterday. And that is, you got school districts. Now, let's be honest. We're talking Mount Healthy, and I'm not trying to shoot shots in any areas or anything like that. But Mount Healthy has Black kids in this particular community, working class people, and they're not really that privileged. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a deficit in their school system, like most school systems, but Mount Healthy happens to be a smaller district that when they have a deficit, it hits harder than a Cincinnati public school deficit. I mean, the deficits may be totally different in the amounts, but the effects hit the smaller schools a little bit different. It's a little bit different. And when I was coming up, we didn't have to pay for sports. But now what they're trying to do, I don't know how true that is. Ben said all schools are pay to play. I don't know how true that is because Mount Healthy is now going to pay to play. See what I'm saying? It wasn't pay to play last year, I don't think. I mean, why would they all of a sudden now be trying to charge a fee? And when these smaller school districts are faced with these issues, think about it. That means they're not bringing in the tax revenue that they need. That means that the area is not thriving in the business district, because what they're going to do once they can't drain the businesses or the homeowners anymore on the taxes of the properties, because the properties are at a yield, which means they're not really gaining They're not gaining a lot of, they're not gaining a lot of property tax off of that because they're at a yield. They're only getting the average because the properties or values are not escalating. Because when escalated price, when the values go up, taxes go up. And when that's not happening, but the cost of goods and cost of doing business in these schools are going up, you got to get the money from somewhere. And oh man, I didn't know that. Detroit Lion running back David Montgomery, one of my favorite running backs. I don't know him like that. I didn't know he was out of Cincinnati. I didn't know he went to Mount Healthy. I think he was number 25 or something like that for Detroit. He ate us up when we played them. Oh man, he's a beast. He's supposed to be in the NFL. Thank you, DC, for that information. I did not know that. I'm gonna look that up. I gotta get a jersey if he is. Somebody help me with that. I could look it up now, but it'll take me too long. I want to stay on point. Thanks, DC, for telling me that. I promise you, I'm gonna look that up. I support all Cincinnati athletes. I support them. Listen, I'm a bandwagoner. Is that a word, wagoner? I'm a bandwagon fan. How about that shit? How about that? Let me tell you why I'm a bandwagoner. I'm a bandwagoner because I understand how hard it is to get to that level. And once you get there, you're committed. I am seriously a fan of anybody that can commit themselves to excellence. Now, if you fail, that don't mean I don't appreciate you. Like a kid that's at the combine who didn't make it. That don't mean I don't appreciate you. But I just got to be honest, and it's probably bad of me, but I'm just going to be honest. I do look at these people that make it to the highest levels of the sport out of where we from. I do look at them as being special because the competition at that level is ridiculous. I just like winners. Some people root for the losers and some people root for the winners. And I guess I'm one of them type of individuals that root for the winner because I know what the winner had to go through to get there. One of my favorite people, one of my favorite athletes, you would never believe who one of my favorite athletes are. Who one of my favorite athletes is, actually. Can anybody think, nah, this would take all day? Let me just say it. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. One of my favorite athletes to this day, and it's not just because I know him personally, but it's because of what he went through to be at the top of what he was doing, where he was. One of my favorite athletes is Rasheed Warren. Rasheed Warren out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I don't know how many times, he's a boxer. I don't know how many Golden Glove championships he's won in his life. Don't care. I don't care how many Golden Glove championships he's won. I don't care. I don't care how many fights he won as an amateur. I don't care. But the reason why I like Rasheed Warren is because he's the only 3-time Olympian in boxing. And that's one of the most difficult. It's so hard to be a 1-time Olympian. Now, I know Clarissa Shields recently went to the Olympics 3 times, but until she did it, Rasheed Warren was the only one to do it. And he's from Cincinnati, Ohio. He's from English Woods. He's from the West Side. I don't know if he's from English Woods, but I know he's West Side. And all I can say to you is this. I admire someone that can dig as deep as it takes to be an Olympian, and then go back with a target on your back. 4 years older with a target on your back and do it again. Come back with a target on your back. 8 years older than you were the first 2 times. Staying in the same weight class. Do it again. If you understand how this athletic thing works, if you understand how being targeted, if you understand how difficult it is to beat people that all want to make a name off of you, then you would appreciate where I'm coming from with that argument. Rasheed Warren, and he might have just been the best, He might have been the best amateur that I've ever seen in my life when it come down to that sport of boxing. Because, Olympic sports is considered to be amateur fighting. And to go back and be a 3-time Olympian and medal all 3 times, I can't hate on that. And that's why I see him as being one. And it's not because I'm Team Warren. It's not just because I know the kid. It took a lot of work for me to get close to Rasheed Warren. It took a lot of work it took me to be an honest guy. It took him to really try to figure out who I am, what I'm about, all of that, because I admired his work ethic. I admired what he did to get where he was. And I like to be around those circles. Those circles motivate me. And I seek out greatness. And if greatness is in my neighborhood, damn it, I'm going to find it. I want to be around it. Let me show you this video real fast. This is what I was trying to tell Drop. Drop's probably not with us today because he would have probably been called and to defend his position. But I want to just show this to him just in case he end up watching this program later on. Okay? But I want y'all to see what they're doing over in Mount Healthy. And it's not easy out here. Money is funny. And now what are these parents going to do? It might not sound like it might not sound like a lot of money to some of us. But some of us are barely getting it, man. And to add another $150 or another $75 or whatever, it might not be good for everybody. Check this out. Then we're going to go to the phone line.
Initiatives to overcome the district's financial woes.
Chancellor Wins live in Mount Healthy with more on how the decisions might impact you.
We are live here at the Mount Healthy Junior Senior High School because the state-appointed commission that oversees all financial decisions made by the Mount Healthy City School District is approving the district's decision to move forward with the process of placing a levy on the ballot this coming November, as well as implementing a pay-to-play model for student athletes.
School level is $150 for the first sport.
This coming school year, student athletes in the Mount Healthy district will have to pay to play sports, something the district says hasn't been the case for several years. But now that the district is trying to overcome their financial troubles, the Financial Planning and Supervision Commission is approving the Board of Education's decision to implement a pay-to-play model to help lower the district's costs when it comes to athletics.
We're hoping that the pay-to-play would cover most of it so that we be in the black and not in the red for the athletes and the coaches.
High school athletes will pay $150 for their first sport, $75 for their second sport, and their third sport will be free. While for middle school athletes, it's a $100 fee for an unlimited number of sports. Parents will be able to lower these costs by volunteering to work different jobs at athletic events.
The average income in Mount Healthy is $28,000.
The commission is also approving the Board of Education's decision to place a tax levy on the ballot this coming November for residents to vote on.
That's going to add a little bit over $100 for the average person.
That $100 would be per year for a person whose home is appraised at $100,000. The tax levy would be ongoing and generate around $1.5 million in revenue for the district each year. Mount Healthy City Schools Superintendent Valerie Hawkins told the commission that the Board of Education felt that a higher tax would be voted down by residents.
They felt that that was an amount that they may be willing to pay and to support with the schools, and anything higher than that, it would be automatically voted down because it would be too much of a strain on the families.
Now, last week we reported that the district's treasurer has resigned, and now I'm told that the Board of Education will be meeting tomorrow night to appoint an interim treasurer. But for now, reporting live in Mount Healthy with photojournalist Damaris Evans, I'm Chancellor Wynn, Fox 19 Now.
Okay, now let me just say this real fast. I'm about to get in some trouble. I'm about to get in some trouble when I say this. And I shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say it. I always get suspicious when money funny, and then people like treasurers start resigning. That's just me. I've been around a lot of embezzlement in my days. I've not been part of it, but I've been around a lot of embezzlement. And there's just dots that tend to connect together. I'm just being honest. And I'm not suggesting that he or she or whoever that person was stealing money. I don't even know who they are. But generally, when there's people that are resigning because of deficits and things like that, it always come out in the wash. There's probably going to be some talks. I hope that ain't your aunt. I hope that's not your granny or your uncle or your grandfather down there. I don't mean it. I don't mean to accuse them of anything. But what I see here out of Mount Healthy is a triple dip. Because number one, let me say this to you. What they just said. Who was that just told me that all schools have pay to play? See, that story right there just told you that Mount Healthy hasn't done it for years. So I knew it wasn't true that all schools was paying to play, was a pay to play school. A lot of them are, but not all of them are. Not all of them. Mount Healthy just went back to it. They're going back to it now. Here's the triple dip. Now the kids have to pay to play. Damn, Stephanie Covington, I'm glad you here. Sis, what's good? I was just talking about that neighborhood that my grandmother was in. And your people live next door to my grandmother, and it was a very good community for them. I wish you would have been here earlier in the program. If you stay, please just listen to me. Go back to the beginning of the program when I'm talking about property and things of that nature, Steph, if you don't mind, because I want to give a shout out to you. Your people, Stephanie Covington, looked out for my grandmother when she passed. We didn't need for nothing. That was a small little community over there on Beecher Street, not Beecher, excuse me, on 1920 Bigelow Street. And sis, I appreciate you and your family for stepping up when my grandmother passed away. Your mom, your aunt, they were there. And they made sure that my mother and myself or whoever was part of our family was comfortable. And that's what community is. That's what community is supposed to be. So thank you, Stephanie. I've never thanked you. I've never thanked you, and I want to do it at the biggest way that I possibly can. And I'm gonna do it right here on something that I've created, and it's called the Wyatt Live Show. So thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate you. You and your family, your mom, y'all all beautiful people, inside and out. Thank you. That all being said, in Mount Healthy, God, that took me. Ooh, in Mount Healthy, it's a triple dip. They said the average income over there in that neighborhood is $28,000 a year. I'm not being judgmental, but we all know $28,000 a year is not a lot of money in today's economy. And then they're also talking about you would be, sorry guys, I'm sorry. You would be part of this program of the pay to play if your house appraises out for $100,000 or more. I just got one thing to say to you. I don't know anybody that owns a home whose home is not worth at least $100,000. There's the land. It should be worth half of that. Just the plot, just the land itself, not even with the buildup. I'm just saying, and I know that might sound judgmental or whatever. Some might want to take out of pocket for what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is, it is very. I don't want to just pull any statistic out from anywhere, but I would say it's a high percentage of most of people in Mount Healthy. Home has to be worth $100,000 or more. Just the fact that it's a piece of land and it's some property. So that's telling me that a high percentage of people have to pay to play the sports. You see what I'm saying? Now, what they might be saying is, okay, you live in a trailer. I don't know. There's some trailer situations over there. If you live in a trailer and your trailer might be worth $50,000, then you may not have to pay to play. So let's just say that. But most homes in Mount Healthy are going to be worth $100,000. That's a very low bar. Most homes in Mount Healthy are going to be worth $100,000 or better. So that's just saying that a high percentage of people are going to have to be in this program of pay to play. So now they're putting a new tax on the levy, which is going to tax the property and the homeowners. Plus now they have to pay to play. It's actually a triple dip, but it's a double dip for sure on on the property owners. Business owners are now going to have to pay more because it's going to go on the levy. It's just a bad situation. And what happens there is this is kind of showing what Drop Squad 52, what I was saying about all kids in these neighborhoods don't have access to they don't have access to these things that you think is a very simple process of putting yourself on the internet so you could be from one of these little small schools and you can still be seen by these D1 schools and get you a scholarship. It's not that simple. Another thing, our communities are developing our kids these days where these kids think that the streets or certain other things like music and all this other stuff is more important than the books, more important than the baseball team, more important than the football team, more important than scholarship, athletics, volleyball, all that. And then what happens is your grades start to shrink. You're not even eligible to go to a D1 school because you can't get in because your GPA is not strong enough. You don't score high enough on the SAT. Don't tell me that it's not a disadvantage being in a room of people who don't want to be there. You could be the smartest kid in the world. That don't mean you're going to get the best grades because the classrooms slow down when you don't have the same interest by other kids. Remember, I've always said this, and I go back on my circle. I stay on my circle on this. I said, give me 15 kids. I don't care what school you put. What's the worst public school in the city of Cincinnati? And I'm not using this to be derogatory toward the school district. I'm saying, give me 15 little girls who want to be something, who want their education to be first in their life. Give me 15 little boys that want that same thing. Put them in any school in the city of Cincinnati. Give them to me, and I'll give you 30 college graduates. Roz says Taft. I don't know if Taft is the worst. TA? I know somebody, FT. I don't know if they the worst. But I will say this. If that's the school you want to use for the argument, Roz, let's do it. Give me 15 beautiful little girls from down there. Give me 15 little handsome little boys. And they've got their studies on their head and they want to be great and they want school to be a priority. I'm going to give you 30 graduates. And I'm going to give you 30. Is it fair to say I'm going to give you 30 productive citizens, 30 people that want to end up chasing a dream of whatever they want to be in life? Can we say that every kid that's in an environment where they can be tossed away from their dreams by other kids, by the influence? We've all been influenced. I've been influenced. We've all been driven by the influence of peer pressure. If we didn't have so much peer pressure in our life, half the penitentiary wouldn't be up there. I heard speaking of penitentiary, speaking of jail from yesterday, fame, I heard something that threw me off and I had to research. I ain't finished with all my studies yet on it, but I'm going to bring it to the table because I'm interested to know if y'all would want to do a show on this. Somebody made a comment about jail, and some other person, an influencer, a very popular person, said this, who's been to jail. He's been to jail. He spent some time in jail. He said, do you know what most men are in jail for? Now, men know the real answer to this. Ladies, this ain't for you because y'all ain't going to like this answer. I should ask y'all to back out for a minute and let me talk to the fellas, but I'm not going to do that. This could be a learning situation. This could be a learning point for y'all. You ain't going to like this. This ain't one that's going to be easy on the ears. But do you know the number one reason most men are in jail? I had to research it, Roz. And I can only know from my experiences and what I've been around and most of the dudes that I've encountered and known. And y'all got to understand, I've been in crime my whole life, mostly. And I'm the one who I've been around it. And if I had to if I had to go back of 10 years of folders or 15 years of folders or 20 years of folders, I think my argument would stand tall on what I'm about to tell you. All right, let me read a couple of the comments. Roz Freeman said from hustling. Okay. Stephen Speed said child support. Okay. Ron says, no, cuz it's women. Scott Bain, what up, Scott? He says child support. Okay. LaDonna, I'm sorry, Donna. Damn. I'm just reading your name. I realized it was Donna. Donna Sandbox. Donna said DV. There's a couple up there that kind of fit. Yeah. Somebody got it right. Somebody got it right. Out of the 4 that I just read, who got it right? Who got it right? Come on, family. DC said child support or DV cases. Come on, DC. Give me one or the other. That ain't fair. That ain't fair. So you going to give me 2 of the 4. You ain't even going to process elimination. You ain't even going to process of eliminate it. Rod says Stephen Speed. Stephen Speed's, yeah, DC said both. Laugh out loud. Now, let me tell you what it is. Let me tell you what it is. Most men are in jail because of a woman. It might not be the charge. You're up in jail because of this woman. That ain't a charge. Not even DV. Because domestic violence could be you beat up your brother. A man could beat up his brother and get a domestic violence. A man could beat up his father or his son. He could beat his son up and get a domestic violence. Okay, so it could be man on man, woman on woman. That can still be a DV. But one thing that's common, most men are in jail. And I'm going to go to the phone line. Maybe this caller will agree or disagree. Most men are in jail and it always involves a woman. Y'all don't like to hear that, ladies, do you? But there's some dudes in here that's going to know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Donna, it's women. Most men are up in jail. And you know what happens? Them same dudes that's in jail that was talking about that woman that got him there, end up with another dude, and that same dude feel dumb as hell. That dude that's sitting in the penitentiary. I got a buddy of mine who said his friend then got called in by his sister. His sister said such and such, I don't know their names. His sister called him, Rick, I'm going to use Rick for it. Rick beating my ass. Rick beating me up. Rick this, Rick that. He don't want the kids. The kids this, the kids that. Rick keep beating me up. So she called her brother and tell her all that. Her brother go up and beat Rick's ass. Rick filed a felonious assault case on him. Damn near attempted murder charge on him. Now, I shouldn't say her brother because this was a bad example. Not her brother, but she called a dude. She called a dude to go beat up Rick because Rick ain't shit. Now this dude go beat Rick up. He catches a felonious assault case, a gun case, pistol case, all that. And Rod said, use Ron's name. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. He didn't went up and beat the shit out of Rick. Now he didn't call the case. And the dude he beat up, Rick, ain't dropping no charges. Hell no. Now, this dude sitting up in Chillicothe, and he calling her, and guess who she messing with? Somebody put it in the screen. The guy who went and saved her ass from Rick pressed charges on him from beating Rick's ass. Now, let's call him John. John didn't beat Rick's ass. Rick filed charges. John on probation. John gets sent to joint. Guess who Felicia messing with? That's the girl name. I love making up names. Felicia. Guess who she messing with? Why John in the joint? For coming to the rescue. She back with Rick. Happens all the time. All the time. There's guys in the joint right now mad because of some shit that they done did for a woman. Mad because they done flossed for a woman. I'm gonna sell this dope so I can get this car. I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. And then she's stroking him for the dollar, and she hustling, she making him hustle hard. She ain't making him, but you know what I'm saying. It's a manipulation game. She ain't holding no gun to his head like go drop, go on and get that extra money. She ain't doing that. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And it's a dude's, listen, I'm going to tell y'all this one right here, and then I'm going to go to the phone line, I promise you. There's a young man that I supported for many years in the boxing game. Y'all might know his name. Please keep it to yourself if you do. This young man caught a murder case. You know why he caught a murder case? Because him and his girlfriend been together for a minute, and this other dude at the gas station hit on her. Like hit on her, said some shit, maybe been disrespectful or whatever. She go back and tell the boyfriend, such and such said such and such to me and blank, blank, blank. Dude, who I thought would be a little bit different than this. He's a hood dude, so he don't play. He can fight and all that old shit. He go to dude. He ended up doing something to the dude, shot him in the arm. Some of y'all know this story. You know it's true. Shot the guy in the arm. 6 months later, the guy died. Not from that gunshot immediately, but the courts, the doctors, write an affidavit to the court and says this man died from results of being shot in the arm. So now the kid who was protecting his girlfriend, who shot the boy, who shot the man, is not now, but ended up getting charged with murder 6 months later after a dude then got out the hospital, walking around, doing what he doing. He ended up dying of something. The hospital, the doctors say, from that shot, that caused his death 6 months later. Now they go arrest the kid and charge him with murder. Why did he get charged with murder? Because the doctor said that shot helped induce his death. Now, how did this stem? Where did it come from? Where did it come from? That little girl then went and told her boyfriend, such and such disrespected me, and he did this and he did that. And they probably don't like the fact that I'm saying this shit, but I ain't putting no names on it. But this is the type of shit that's going on out here in these streets for real. Not no play pretending, not no trying to come up with all this old other shit. The shit that's going on out here in real life. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Most of our little men that are up in these penitentiaries are in penitentiary because they either tried to impress a girl or that the girl then did something and make him go do something that he normally wouldn't do, and he'll be a bitch ass ninja if he don't do it. He won't be respected on the streets if he don't defend his girl and all that old type of shit. This is the type of shit that's going on out here for real. If don't let a girl like Sexy Red get out here and get on the ground and be talking about how you a bitch ass ninja because you don't defend her or you don't do this. You ain't buying her no purses. You ain't doing all this. Every loser in town to be on her. And when you lose your girl, now you lose the respect. So, for those that might want to challenge where I'm coming from in this argument, feel free to do so. But you're going to have to go talk to some real G's. And I'm going to tell you, I ain't met one friend of mine. Maybe my older friend, and him and I ain't never had this conversation. But all the dudes that's my age that went off to jail, ain't not one of them came home and told me a bullshit ass jailhouse story about how they lost their girl or she got pregnant on me. Every motherfucker that I know came home and they ain't fucking with that girl that they left with. They ain't messing with her no more. Cause they always say this, man, she fuck around. She ain't shit. They stopped writing, all that old stuff. And he was in there doing shit to get their shit right. I ain't gonna say she's fully blamed. She's to blame on some of it. See, they never go to jail. The guy end up going to jail for the shit that they got started in. The girl got started in. So, I'm telling you, it might sound like dope dealing is the reason why everybody up there. It might sound like everybody up there from the non-child support. But most guys, you can maybe tie in non-child support with some old girl that he ain't had no business messing with. I don't know. But it always leads to some girl. Guys get in trouble more so because they got something dealing with some type of girl. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. Good afternoon, caller. Thanks for holding. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
It's me, Wyatt. What's up, man?
What's up, twin? Thanks for holding, brother. Thanks for holding. The floor is yours. What's up?
Yeah, whatever. You ran like yesterday, like you had a warrant.
I did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro.
Hey, prayers and condolences to May's family, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
saw it this morning on ESPN. I
yeah,
was like, wow,
yeah.
man, that's sad, man. But he put on for the people, man.
Good guy.
Everything. Hey, Rashid, do he still box?
Hmm. He does,
Oh,
but
do I?
he's the coach at Cincinnati Golden Gloves. He took over for Mike Stafford, so he's still in the fight game. He's still a professional fighter. He's coming toward the end of his career. He's a little older now, and he's ready to settle down and maybe get one or two more fights. I would think. I can't speak for him, but if I know him the way I know him, he'll take one or two more good fights and probably call it a wrap.
Yeah, I met him last time he was at US Bank Arena.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had met him, and then I seen on social media Adrian Brono was around him, and people like, "Hey, get away from him. He's toxic."
Well, they grew up
Say
together.
what?
They grew up together. Rasheed knows how to deal with guys. They brothers,
Yeah,
man. You know,
but
he know how to.
yeah, I know. Yeah, you know how people
Yeah,
on Facebook, yes, and that.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I know David Montgomery personally.
Do
You know,
you? Do
his,
you?
yeah, I
Is he a
know him
good guy?
because hell yeah, most definitely. I know his mama and his grandfather too, if
Good,
he's
good,
still living.
good.
The reason why I know David, he used to be around my baby mama people. His her
Okay,
sons, they the same age. And I know David brother Maceo.
okay.
He been locked up for 10 years. He caught a body in Mount Healthy on some goofy stuff.
Wow.
See, I used to drive him around and try to encourage and give him advice. Man, stay away from suckers, man.
Yeah,
A nigga go get you in trouble.
yeah,
I mean, get these females, do what you got to do, get your education, get on. Stay away from these suckers, man. And stuff. Quit trying to be a follower, man, or whatever you do. All right, twin, all right, I got you on. Man, for real, man. I say I'm gonna either go read about you in the newspaper or in the obituary section. Which one you want? No, bro, ain't like that. Come on. All right. Here come a couple of years later, 4 years later. And today's news, we searching for such and such and everything. Maceo. I say, I'll be damned.
wow.
So I told his mama, I spoke to her 2 years ago in Kroger's and everything. And I introduced her. I'm like, you such and such mama. And then Macy, I said, Dave, your son. I like, So she went live. And then I said, what's up, Dave? And they like, yeah. I said, I thought she was playing. Say, no, that's my son. So I said, okay. So yeah, man. But, I try to encourage people. People don't know. They always think I'm a joke or whatever. But, it is what it is.
I don't
People
think
got
you're a
their own
joke.
opinion.
I don't think you're a joke. I just think
No, I'm just saying. I know some people think,
I just
but let
wish.
me
Can I say something about that, man? I think
preach, man.
I think, quite honestly, speaking to you as I guess I could say a podcast friend or a big bro or whatever you want to call me. I think people would probably hear you a little bit better if you didn't use the language that you use. I mean, that's just my opinion. They don't listen to me either, twin, and I try to be I try to add as much diplomacy as I possibly can in my conversation. So I can't tell you what to say or how to say it because they don't listen to me either. They don't really take my words serious. A lot of people don't.
Well, I listen to you because you bring the receipts and I look at it.
Not
Damn,
according to
what the
everyone.
hell?
Not according to
Man,
everyone.
man, you bring everything that people don't even really talk about on other podcasts or radio stations. And I'm
Well,
like, damn, that
well,
boy did his homework today.
well.
And I look back, I'm like, damn, why?
You got to
You
understand.
guess,
You got to understand. I do use a lot of opinion, but my opinion is
yeah,
based off things that are facts. In some cases, in most cases, they're facts. But then my opinions become. I do stress that I have a high opinion about some things, and I don't know for a fact if this is true. I'll say that, but I base my opinion off of consistency. You understand what I'm
right,
saying? I can't. It's not easy for me to make a judgment call on somebody live on the air like I do, and not have some type of consistent pattern for me to stick my neck out there. But I've been saying
right,
some things for years that I didn't have facts on. But then when it comes up and I'm saying, see, I don't this is what I don't do, twin. I'm never gonna be distracted from being me. I'm not gonna let somebody look, I say what I say and I say it with confidence. And I mean what I say. And just because somebody might say, I don't have all the facts. That don't distract me from being who I am and doing what I'm doing. It might take the bite out of what I say to some people, but if you look at my track record of what I say against against what I'm talking about, it always plays into what I've been saying. Some people haven't been here for 4 years. They only hear me say things now. And when I say things
Right.
now, it's manifest to today from what I said 4 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And then they just hit the
Right.
finish line. They didn't see the sweat. They didn't see the criticism I had to go through to make that point, or that to make that statement before it became true.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Some people, you don't have to have all the facts to be able to understand what a possibility is. That's ridiculous.
I got you, man. Hold on. Yeah. Wyatt,
Yeah.
let's talk penitentiary.
Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry
I
I
was
missed you yesterday.
I was waiting to get in yesterday.
I
I was
know.
gonna kill it.
The floor is yours, bro. You can have it. Go ahead. What you think of that?
Wyatt, let me tell you something, man. Honest God, truth. I cried like a beer when I first went to the joint. See, the joint, let me say it how I want to put this. I went to the joint, Wyatt, and I thought I was twin and all that. But when that white man got that key to the joint and he turned that key and you locked down 23 and 1,
Yeah.
ain't no all that hustle, gangster, and all that mentality you was bought up on, and all that's out the window, Wyatt.
I feel you.
And you was true. I was waiting for you to say out there flossing and everything. I was waiting for you to say it. You said the mess. I'm like, dang, let's say you flossing everything one time so I could get it. But that's the reason why a female will get you in trouble no matter what. You did all that and everything, and now you got me locked up because it's goofy and everything. A female will get you in trouble, Wyatt. But back to the penitentiary. Wyatt, they used to have the joints, the inmates. They took that back in the late 90s, 2000. Inmates always had the joint, Wyatt. And when you're in a joint, I got $30 a month, Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the field and everything, working the field and everything, cutting grass and all that, or doing wood shop, whatever they got going on, you get about $50 in Illinois.
Okay.
It's to $60 a month.
Okay.
You ain't got no contraband on no phone. I ain't never seen one up in there. Because if you do, that's 5 more years across the board or whatever. But my thing is this, that joint will break you down and everything. Right now, today's joint, it's about some goofy stuff. Why I didn't see it, but I'm next door to a celly. He was cracking a mess out of that whiteboard. The CEO told me, I said, what happened? He said, we at the Bangkok. I said, what happened? He got caught bending a white boy over with a magazine on his back. I said, oh my God. I said, I knew this was a cupcake nigga or whatever. So when you do something like that, you send a kite to home and everything, tell your people that you've been engaged in sexual activity. We got different joints. You got the joints with homosexual, joints with murders, joints with domestic. You got a snitch joint. People that tell got low time and all that, which is, protective cussy almost like what you call Kevin Gates.
No, I
He
understand.
ain't go to a real joint. They sent him right there to East Mo Lane. Softest joint out of every last one of them, unless you go to the word count. I was in the joint with all the GDs, vice lords, and everything, but I knew everybody. So
you was
if I had
in
a
the gang related. You were in the gang related section. The area they segregated
every joint got a gang in it, White. That's Illinois. Every joint got a gang. Every joint is labeled.
Now
You
let
got
me
the
ask you
murders,
this.
huh?
Let me ask you this, because yesterday we were talking about the jail, and I came up with the conversation because.
Let me hear you about. I'm about to tell you about that jail.
Okay.
I'd rather go to the joint than be in jail. If you're doing 365 days, that's cool. But if you got a 2, 3, 4, 5 home big, I'd rather go to the joint. Because you know why? I don't want to eat that little stupid little commissary y'all got in y'all food net. I'd rather go to the joint, give me a crock pot, my TV, and let me get my phone calls on, and let me be happy and everything. See, Wyatt, I made my hustle like this. I bet on the roach or an ant. That's how I made my hustle. I bet on the games. And I did. And I was a porter at night. So other hustle I made, people betting on me playing basketball, White. They knew I was cold out there with that ball. People used to gamble, twin and do this, twin do that, shoot a three, whatever the thing. I was a hustler in the joint, man. Hey, dudes used to pay me $10 to wash their clothes. I ain't touching them, they had them in the little
Don't let me
neck
find out
pads.
you was. Don't let me find out you was washing socks and drawers in the sink. Don't let me find that out.
No, we got wash and dry, but
I know,
hey,
twin. I'm just
yeah,
messing
but
with you.
it closed down a certain time.
You know the ones
Look,
that's washing their
oh yeah,
drawers in the
oh
sink.
yeah, yeah. It closed down a certain time, and guys can't get in to do it. So they're like, all right, give me $10. So they give me $10 and all that, but I give it back though and stuff because they go run. I know they go run out of food. Man, they got some pump faking gas. They show me pictures and all that. Yeah, now you had it back in '89. Y'all you was right there back in '97. But why did you ask me for a three-way and stuff to call home? You had all this and stuff, but you can't call home. Nigga, get out of my face with that goofy stuff. But they get mad at me. Nigga, I'll knock you out because they know I was 30 days going home. Nigga, I'm act like a peon. I ain't even gonna say nothing to you. Okay, you gonna knock me out. They ain't even know I was going home. Why I had the yellow jumpsuit and that thing for 30 days. That they came out the day I was supposed to be released. I put that on like I had on a 3P. Yeah. Man, when you going on? Don't worry about it. See, you don't post tell nobody you did, man, all that. But why I'd rather go to the joint than to sit up in there, listen to them goofies.
So here go the thing. Yesterday, the question was on the table of, okay, somebody made a comment on the radio, and I brought it to the attention of the family over here. The man said that jail is not tough, or people wouldn't go back so much. And his point was, we need to make jails tougher. Like, they need to be out there working, they need to be doing things, they need to be washing the streets, doing whatever they need to do. And I said, personally, there's only two people that would say jail is not tough. And that's somebody that's never been to jail because they don't know how tough it is, you know what I'm saying? And the other is going to be somebody who probably has become, they become accustomed to the jail ways. You get in there, somebody that's been there 20 years becomes institutionalized. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of the only one who could probably say that jail is cool, because there's guys that's done so much time that when they come up on their damn, on their parole hearings, they do some shit, so they have to stay. Now that sounds crazy to somebody like me, but twin, those people exist. There's dudes.
Because I had a brother. I got a brother right now. He been there 6-7 times. I seen him. I seen him a month ago. He came down here from Chicago. I said, "Hey, Bill, don't it feel good to be free, man?" I said, "You've been going to jail 6-7 times. I ain't really spent a year out or whatever. You go right back on goofy stuff." I know you was getting money, but you was doing dumb stuff, man. And that thing, like, no, I know, big bro. I say, you've been free like 5 years, man, 6-7 years. I said, don't it feel good waking up to a piece of ass and all that? You ain't got to go. You can open your own refrigerator. He said, bro, I know. I feel where you come. And he almost 60. And that thing, he know. Now he realized. I said, man, you go back. I said, oh, Mama Gray, I'm done with you. I ain't getting no kite from you. You ain't getting nothing from you. Nigga, don't go back, man. You too old for this. You got grandkids out here. So he realized how free it is and how society is and everything. And you mean to he get out, Wyatt, and people talking about some, well, I got a felony, the white man go do this. Man, my brother making $20-something as the dang on top flight security and everything. And you can't tell me what God won't do, man. It's all about mind and matter, man, and everything. Forget what that white man, God got the upper hand, man. And I know we ain't all perfect, whatever, but I believe in somebody up there, Wyatt. Yeah. And I don't believe in no other man. It's only one man, which is God, man. And people got to stop real. Well, the white man is, man, hell with the white man. Get your own, man. Get your own, quit begging, get your own. Come up with some type of hustle. So, yeah, Wyatt, when they say that jail and everything got soft or whatever and all that, it just, Wyatt, the guards got, the COs got the jail back, man. Just like the county jail. I was up in there in Chicago. Man, Wyatt, I wouldn't wish that on nobody, man. Because Wyatt, you get smart one of them guards, oh, yeah, GD, we're going to put them with the Latin King. We're going to put them with the 2 foes and all that. Then you put them up there with the 2 foes, Wyatt, they up there 3-4 in the morning sharpening them straight. ready to go down. Niggas go down, Wyatt, go down. You a GD, wow. Stab me right in your chest. I'm seeing it happen, Wyatt. I said, Lord Jesus, let me make it up out of here, man. I'm up here with the 2-6, everybody else. Dang, so all the GD is over with. I was in there, man, that bullpen and all that, and then I was going up, and then thank God, 1 hour I got it about to get just Jonah, let's go. Yeah, you ain't said nothing but a word and everything. But after that, I was getting lost. They had a lawsuit in Illinois, White, in Cook County. So you supposed to be 3 men to a cell. They got about 6-7 people in the cell, White, and they were still giving me. I got my last check and whatever settlement like 2-3 years ago, White, and I was getting it for like 6-7 years. Yeah, like 120, 200 here, 3 and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'd rather go to the joint than sit in jail, man. Jail.
I just didn't like the fact that somebody would say that jail is easy. I mean, for some people, maybe it is. I don't know. But I think that somebody that has the gumption to say that jail ain't shit, it's easy, that's probably somebody in my mind ain't never been there. That's the first thing come to my mind.
Basically, it is, why? Because let me tell you, why. Let me tell you, when you get it, when that 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock light hit off and that door closed, why, only thing you're thinking about is looking up at the ceiling. Damn, why me? I never thought I would. That's what I was thinking. Why I've been in jail in and out, especially I've been here too in Cincinnati to that JC stuff. I've been there and everything. I spent 3 days for DUI. I was so glad to get out of there. Why them people telling them bogus stories and all that, and they getting on the phone, baby. I'm just calling to see what you doing and stuff. I'll call you back at 6. So I timed this nigga, baby. I was reading, so I was just calling back, make sure so the phone. I'm called back at 9. Man, I said this nigga here right here. I said I gotta go. But man, Wyatt, it took one time. I told God, Lord, you just let me make it out this jam. Just let me make it out this jam. Make it out of here, Lord. I promise I ain't coming back. If I go back, it'll go me catching a body or something. Other than that, God, I can't come back here. Wyatt, I'm a nigga, man. I can't wake up to no guy and everything, and all that every day, and y'all tell them sad stuff.
See, that's what I
some monkey. I want some monkey out here, man. I miss my kids. I miss my family.
See,
I ain't got no.
That's what I was saying. No, I don't mean to interrupt, but I got to get in there with that. That's what I'm saying. See, a lot of people be like, "Oh, you'll be scared in jail." This is what they were saying yesterday about fear and you fighting. It ain't all that. Everybody take it different. I would be like, I got shit to do tomorrow. I can't be sitting in somebody's jail. I got a wife. I got kids. I got a business to run. I got too much going on in my life to take. I wouldn't be able to survive in jail because I know everything that I'm losing. That's all I'm saying. I ain't worried about nobody stepping up. I mean,
exactly.
That's not the fear. My thing is I got too much going on. And I think other people have different things. There's different levels of why people would think jail is not good for them or jail ain't shit. I mean, I just think that somebody who says jail ain't shit is somebody ain't never been there, or you ain't got nothing in this world to lose. Something going on with you. Hey, twin, I'm at the top of the hour, man. I got a commercial coming up here in a second. I got to show people what we talking about tomorrow. Twin, I'll let you have the floor because you waited all day yesterday, man. I appreciate you coming in, telling the truth. We working on chapter 39 of your book. We'll be on chapter, when you calling again?
I'm calling it tomorrow, Lord's will, man.
Damn it, we're gonna work on chapter 40 tomorrow with Twin. He'll come in and tell us chapter 40. Twin, thanks for engaging with us, brother. I appreciate you being in with us. Listen, tomorrow, before I get out of here, I want y'all to see Steven Speed said, Wyatt, sign Twin to your production company. Shit, I don't know if I can afford him. Twin would have me writing Scarface 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if I had a budget for Twin. I don't know. It'll take millions to fill all his stories up with podcast with time. You know what I mean? It costs a lot of money to do movies. It take a lot of money to do these little podcasts and stuff and do them the right way. It take a few dollars, and the longer you on here, the more it costs. But that all being said, I want to show y'all something. Twin said, I'll do it for free. Yeah, till the money start coming in. Then I had the vice lords, the GDs, and everybody else after my ass. You didn't give my brother his residuals on that, did you? I wouldn't do gangster music or none of that shit these days. There's too many gangsters in the music game. Too many gangsters in the music game for me to even. I gave up when Suge Knight and them got in the industry. Damn it, I wasn't DJing another show. I wasn't doing a talent show. Too many gangsters in the game of music. You gonna play this record. If you don't play this record, we gonna fuck you up. What? I'm out. I don't want to do this shit anymore. As soon as they put some gangsters in podcasts, I'm out this one too. If they start coming in and being some gangsters, I ain't about to be in that life. They can have this shit. I ain't about to be dealing with nobody. Y'all, what's my famous line? I got shit to do tomorrow. I can't be around people that don't care about themselves. I know they don't care about me. I want to show y'all this clip before I get out of here because this is what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And all my chaos agents, I want y'all to be ready.
Black Americans.
I want y'all to be ready. I want y'all to be ready tomorrow because I'm going to give y'all all the opportunity in the world. I didn't want to do this on Juneteenth. I didn't want to do it on Juneteenth because then it seemed like I was hating on Juneteenth and I was hating and I don't like black people, all that old goofy ass shit. I wasn't going to do it. But I'm going to show you a clip of what I want to talk about tomorrow. All right. And since when I say these things, it don't mean anything. I want to know if one of maybe the richest black men in America, who we all fed him dollars. We all paid him one time. We all patronized his business. We all called him great. We all called him a great businessman. I want to know how you feel about what he's saying about politics. I want to know how you feel about what he says, because when I say it, I'm a Trumpster. See, if I'm not saying what they saying, then I must be an op. That's cop without the C. Who said that day? Oh, Mike Epps. What's a op? A cop without the C? It was the goofiest dumb shit I've ever heard. But yeah, when I say this thing, I think I'm too good, or I'm a Trumpster, or he's MAGA. I'm all this one shit. No, what I am is a businessman with common sense, and I understand what leverage is. Some people don't understand what leverage is. Some people are willing to sacrifice who they are just to be part of something. That's what they do. And then some people just simply, I don't know. If they're not part of something, they ain't part of nothing, and they just got to be part of something, even if it's wrong or don't see the rationality in it, they'll make it make sense. They'll find a reason to go against the grain and try to figure out a reason to be a way to be relevant in the argument. I don't know. I don't have time. I don't really get into those type of things. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that person who will, just trying to add reasonable doubt, even when the smoking gun is sitting on the table. I don't like that position. It's just something that I find to be aggravating. But that's the greatness of America. You can be all you can be, or you can be as little as you want to be. And nobody will really, fight you for it. They don't care. Nobody care. This is America, baby. You can be what all you want to be. You can be as much or as little as you want to be. You can be the president of the United States. You can be the CEO of your own company. Or you could be a wino hanging out at GJ's outside asking for $1 from everybody. It's the land of the free. For those that don't know what GJ's is a pony keg store down the way. And there's nobody stopping you from sitting out there all day getting $1.25 or $1 from everybody so you can go buy $1.89 little pint of your 2020 Mad Dog. If you want to do that all day and sing and dance and sing and do the Temptations and all that old shit, you can be all of that all day, every day. Donna said GJ's wide. I could have said Harry's. I could have said a whole lot of little stores that we didn't, see all our people we looked up to out there ain't doing nothing. Scott said, how you going to get us all hyped up and don't hit play? I'm about to hit play, brother. Promise. But I want to say this to you. That's one of my moves, Scott. That's one of my dance floor moves. I do that. I can move like that. I get you hyped up, ready to see it, then I keep talking. Kim said Swartz. That's off the top of the fade. Hell yeah, you know they be bombing out at Swartz. Hey, let me get 50 cents so I can get this scratch off. I feel it. I feel lucky. Let me get 50 cent, young blood. I'm going to get that last scratch off. It's the Monopoly one. It's sitting there waiting for me. It's the last one on there. It's the $500. I'm going to cut you in. I'm going to cut you in. I just need 50 cents. I ain't got it, G. I ain't got it, OG. Give me that 50 cent. It's the last scratch off. That's how shit go. But anyway, let me just say this to you. I've been saying this for 4 years. When I say this, what I'm about to play you, I'm a Trumpster. I'm a coon. I'm a conspiracy. What do they call it? I can't even say it. I can spell it. They spell it out to me. I'm a conservative, which means a conservative. Coon, because I'm a conservative black man. I'm a coon for that. I don't have an alternate way of thinking. It's just since I don't think like you, something must be wrong with me. I'm just part of the 10%. Out of 100 of y'all, I'm just part of 10, and you worried about how I am, who I am, what's wrong with me. Don't worry about what's wrong with me. You and your 99 other people, y'all good. Y'all, it's 99 of y'all thinking and doing the same thing. Don't worry about me and the other 9 people. That ain't gonna change nothing that y'all doing. You don't need me and these other 9 people to be successful at what y'all doing. You don't need that. So why are you talking about us? Why are we the threat? I don't understand it. I've never gone to war 10 against 100, and the 100 is worried about the 10. I ain't never seen that. Ain't never really been a strategy put together to get rid of the 10. They would just put numbers on us and get rid of us. That's all you got to do. You don't have to focus on the 10. So what that tells me is maybe the 10 might have something to say, and you worried about the other 99 hearing the 10 voices, and y'all might be worried about the 10 being able to recruit from the 100. Because maybe the 100 ain't getting shot straight. Maybe they ain't been told the truth. Maybe they seeing things differently if they hear something different. So I'm going to leave this on the table by the one and only Bob Johnson. Yeah, one of the richest black men in America. See, when I said I ain't rich enough, I'm not popular enough, my money don't spend like his, or whatever it might be in your mind. I know we led by politicians and entertainers, the PE, and I don't mean public enemy. We're led by PE, politicians and entertainers. So I'm going to let Bob Johnson say something, and I'm going to leave it on the table. And we'll cover it tomorrow on the Wyatt Live show at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Check this out.
Black Americans have tremendous underutilized power. We become a permanent appendage of one party in a two-party system. If that happens and you never show your power, your ability to go one way or the other and leverage your weight in the voting block, you will become taken for granted. It's just a sheer fact of life. And the other side, the people who figure that you're always going to be in that camp, they will ignore you. If we were to look at ourselves as an independent entity with the ability to go this way or that way depending on our permanent interests, I think we'd have a heck of a lot more influence on things in the best interest of our people than we do now, because the one party doesn't ever expect us to vote from that party and become independent.
Independent. A word that people don't, they interpret independent as being Republican or MAGA or you on the other side. I'm just not a monolith. I know what serves me best, and I know what works for me. Now, I'm not here to prove or change anybody's mind. All I'm here to do is put out my point. You either ride with it or you don't. I ain't going to lose you as a friend if you don't ride with me. I don't have to do what the 100 does and tell you a fool, call you names. I don't have to do that. But independency is what gets you what you want in life, not being part of something. Whenever you share a cookie, you get a piece. When you bake cookies, you eat what you make. Peace and love to everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
7 pounds of pressure. 7 pounds of motherfucking pressure. All it takes is just a second.
And everything about what's gonna take a kill, nigga. All you really need is 7 pounds of pressure.
They gon' wanna talk about it. Motherfucking pressure. Watch out.
All the dollars in the world in bank account, they're going out to the 7 pounds of pressure.
Let's talk about motherfucking pressure then. Fuck pressure. Let's talk about it.
I put a hole in the whole motherfucker and I ain't feel shit. I'm a beast, I'm a lion. Better pray I don't empty that clip. Niggas be out here lying, talking about they killers and shit. Little Mississippi murder might still be blood on my shirt. Same nigga I see off in the club, same nigga gon' be in the hearse. Might catch that pussy nigga outside, put his ass in the dirt. I done seen so many niggas die, some niggas deserve it. I keep that 45 on my left side, nigga, making me nervous. I got the 7 pounds of pressure, 7 pounds of motherfucking pressure. All it takes is just a second. Yeah, I got that 7 pounds of pressure, 7 pounds of pressure on the dresser. All it takes is just a second.
Everything about what it's gonna take to kill a nigga. All you really need is 7 pounds of pressure. All the dollars in the world in bank account, they're going out to the 7 pounds of pressure. Everything about what it's gonna take to kill a nigga. All you really need is 7 pounds of pressure. All the dollars in the world in bank account, they're going out to the 7 pounds of pressure.
Hot nigga with a cold soul, bitch, the realest it get. And I ain't running from shit. Remember I couldn't pay rent, so I run up in your shit instead of stay on my bitch. And I ain't gon' stay on my bitch. Better hit me a lick. Now nigga get rich. They no murder, ain't playing. About to fall out my niggas, about this shit they saying. Ain't no heaven for no thug, nigga, ain't no use to me praying. But only God can judge me, nigga, what the fuck is you saying? Yeah, I got the 7 pounds of pressure. Yeah, I got the 7 pounds of pressure. 7 pounds of motherfucking pressure. All it takes is just a section.
Everything about what it's gonna take to kill a nigga. All you really need is 7 pounds of pressure. All the dollars in the world in bank account, they're going out to the 7 pounds of pressure. Everything about what it's gonna take to kill a nigga. All you really need is 7 pounds of pressure. All the dollars in the world in bank account, they're going out to the 7 pounds of pressure.
Tell me, if you came up from the mud, they label you as a thug, selling dope and shooting slugs, washing off a nigga blood, get killed up, be a killer. I'm cold-hearted and wicked. Is this the life that I'm living? Falling victim to a culture, we sinning like we supposed to. Them demons keep getting closer. A product of young vibe. Thuggin' ain't no retirement. Knowing I'm living wrong, I'd rather be dead and gone. Now tell me everything about what it's gonna take to kill a nigga. All you really need is 7 pounds of pressure. All the dollars in the world in your bank account are never gonna matter to the 7 pounds of pressure.
Everything about what it's gonna take to kill a nigga. All you really need is 7 pounds of pressure. All the dollars in the world in bank account, they're going out to the 7 pounds of pressure. Everything about what it's gonna take to kill a nigga. All you really need is 7 pounds of pressure. All the dollars in the world in bank account, they're going out to the 7 pounds of pressure.
That's all the fucking tape. Get your ass on up out of here. If you don't want to feel that pressure.